Hey everyone, I'm Marcus, the weather coach, back with another video. And in this video, I wanted to talk about the pros and cons when it comes to working as a broadcast meteorologist. Some of the pros include that you get a chance to do something different every single day, depending on what's happening with the weather. One day you may be covering severe weather, the next day you may be covering tranquil weather, calm weather, a day later you may be covering extreme heat. And so all of that makes that pretty interesting, and even as a meteorologist, pretty exciting when it comes to covering weather. Another pro is that there is potential for you to grow your income. A lot of times you do start out not making a whole lot of money when it comes to broadcast television, but over time, as you continue to show that you're a quality meteorologist, that you're good at your job, there is potential for your income to grow. And especially when you make it to some of the largest markets in the country, there's a potential for you to live a pretty comfortable living where you can cover everything you need and really live a comfortable lifestyle. So the growth potential for your income is there, and that's definitely a pro when it comes to working as a broadcast meteorologist. Another pro is that you get a chance to interact with the community, whether it's via social media or in person. You have the opportunity to connect with the viewers, to build relationships with viewers, and all of that strengthens your relationship with them as well as your relationship with them watching you on television. And all of that can help your career. But also, if you just want to be involved with the community and give back to the community, you have the opportunity to do that a lot of times as a broadcast meteorologist. If there's events taking place, you may get invited to host them, you may get invited to lead them, or even just participate in them. So all of that could be a pro when it comes to working as a broadcast meteorologist. One last pro that I want to mention is that you do get the opportunity to live all across the U.S. There are broadcast meteorologist jobs in every part of the U.S. And so if you've ever wanted to travel, if you ever wanted to live in another city or another state, you have that opportunity working as a broadcast meteorologist. Now, some of the cons when it comes to broadcast meteorology include the hours, especially if you are a newer meteorologist. Sometimes the hours they aren't consistent, or they may be all over the place. And so that makes it challenging to live sort of a stable life. One week you may be working mornings, the next week you may be working evenings. And so that changing schedule can be challenging. That does seem to calm down the more or the longer you are in the industry and the more of an established position you have at a station. For instance, if you're the morning meteorologist at a station, you typically work that morning schedule unless someone takes off, and then on occasion you may have to cover a later shift or weekend shift, but for the most part your schedule is stable. If you work as a midday meteorologist, that's typically where a lot of newer meteorologists work. You may one day cover the morning person if they take off, another day you may cover the evening person if they take off. So that's where scheduling can be a little bit of a challenge, and living your life can be a challenge as well. So that's something you want to think about. Another con when it comes to working as a broadcast meteorologist is that sometimes you run into just annoying viewers or irritating viewers who almost harass you online if, let's say, if your forecast is not exactly right one day, or they're just not happy with how you present weather. That can be really challenging, especially if you are a newer meteorologist. But you can still get past that, I believe, either by blocking them on social media or even just reassessing, okay, do they have some validity to what they're saying, or are they really just being a jerk? If it's either or, you can make the necessary changes to handle the situation. Another con is that sometimes you may be far from home, so you can't always make it to those family events. You can't always make it to other events that are taking place that are back where you grew up or maybe where you used to live. And so that can be a challenge for a lot of folks. Sometimes people get homesick or even really depressed because they haven't seen family in person in a long time because they live so far away. And it may be a little more expensive to fly there based on where they live and how much time they have off from work. But over time, that typically does get a little better, especially the longer you're in the field, the more seniority you get in the field, the more likely that you'll be able to travel and get to those destinations. You won't be there for every family occasion, for instance, but you should be able to make it to some of those occasions. And then lastly, and this is not an exhaustive list, but these are just some of the pros and cons. Another con is that sometimes you run into irritating colleagues that have a little bit of an ego based on what they do for a living, but you typically can get past that just by focusing on your job and making sure you're doing your job to the best of your ability. And if it ever gets too bad, you would have to tell management and let them know, like, hey, this is a situation I'm dealing with. Is there any way that you can step in and sort of handle this for me? I think all of that can help you navigate working as a broadcast meteorologist. So again, these are just some of the pros and cons. This is not a complete list, but these are some of the things that I thought of. If you can think of any and you're a broadcast meteorologist, make sure to comment on the video below. Otherwise, I want to thank you for watching this video and make sure to like and subscribe. And until the next video, enjoy your day and live your best life.